Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if this is your first time visiting this channel, do hit the subscribe button and smash the notification bell so that whenever I post a new video you will get notified as soon as possible. Yeah, so it's a new week here again, and just as we normally do, we go through the pairs and see what the market has for us going into a new week. Last week was a very tricky week. All right, yeah, last week was a very tricky week because it was a CPI week. I didn't really go that much aggressive on the market. I took a trade on Monday, Tuesday. All right, Monday's trade was a loss, Tuesday's trade was a win, but I go in small and come out big. So at the end of the day, it was a profitable week for me. So after Tuesday, I never traded again. So the end of the week, even though Tuesday was a US election week, like yes, it was a US election day. I mean, we didn't really see that volatility that we're expecting to see in the market, or that volatility that would have kept me away from the market. All right, because I mean, right after the New York Open, I mean, everything seems to be normal, and besides, I was seeing the setup that I wanted to see. All right, that is why I traded that very day. So I decided to take advantage of it and then take a trade on that, and boom, it was a win for me. All right, yeah. So even though I lost on Monday, I won on Tuesday, I didn't end up in a break even. I ended up with a profit. All right, I ended up with a win. All right, yeah. So last week was quite good for me. Yeah. So right after Tuesday, I never traded again because I wasn't seeing what I'm expecting to see on the market. And so going into this week, there are some news. All right, yes, I'll be much focused on Tuesday and Wednesday because that is going to be where I'm going to see interesting price action happening. Monday, there is not going to be any news for us, so I'm expecting to see a clearer price action on the lower time frame. All right, that is the 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 minute. I want to see clearer price action. All right, on a Monday, since there is no news. Tuesday, we have the US high impact news, that is the Empire State Manufacturing Index, and then the PPI. All right, on Tuesday, New York Open. Wednesday, New York Open too. We have the core retail sales. All right, and then the retail sales, and then yes, retail sales coming up. All right, yes, and Thursday to New York Open, there's also a high impact news coming up. And so this week is going to be very interesting. So my focus is going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, yes, so my focus is going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday. So let's delve deep into the market and see what price is likely to do going into a new week. So last week for dollar index, I wanted to see price bounce off, or how price is going to react within this fair value gap we are seeing here. But I mean, it violated it, and then we saw price moving to the downside. All right, we saw price moving to the downside. That is the CPI engineering that movement. So currently, this is where price is currently heading or sitting to. And so going into this, I want to see how price is going to react within this zone. All right, if we break this zone, then definitely we are going to see price continue to push to the downside. If we break this zone, you're going to see price continue to push to the downside. But if you're unable to break this zone, all right, if price fails to break this zone, then definitely I'll look at how price will react, look for entries, and then see how price is going to drive to the zone. Then right from here, we see where the market will move to. Either it will move to the downside, or it will just come and then continue to push to the upside. Because at the moment, it's very difficult to tell where the dollar index is moving to. All right, it's very, very difficult to tell. And so I'll look at how price is going to react on Monday. All right, I'll look at how price is going to react on Monday. Since we don't have any high impact news, Monday's price action is going to give me a lot of information as to how the rest of the days, especially Tuesday and Wednesday, is going to look like. All right, here. So Monday, I'll see how price will react within this zone. If it fails to break this zone, then definitely price will move up to fill this fair value gap we are seeing here. All right, to fill this fair value gap that we are seeing here, because at the end of the day, we've seen a shift in structure here. All right, and after the shift in structure, you've seen a fair value gap being created here. And so if price should fail to break below this zone we are seeing here, then definitely I'll look forward to see price push to the upside to fill this fair value gap. Then from there, you see how the market, or we see how price is going to move so far as the dollar index is concerned. So that is my expectation for the dollar index going into next week. Let's look at what is happening on Euro USD. So the dollar index Euro USD opposite plan, all right, the dollar index Euro USD invest plan. And so going into next week on the Euro USD, we've seen an impulse move to the what, to the upside, all right, taking out what, these buy stops, all right, and clearing right a little bit away from what, taking out this buy stops, all right. Yeah, so, and don't forget, we also have a fair value gap here, all right. We are having a fair value gap here, and so looking at how price is reacting on Euro USD, I'll be looking forward to it, to target some sales to it, to fill up this fair value gap. Then from there, we see how price is going to react, all right. Then from there, we can see how price is going, because the dollar index is not really giving us a clear direction. I'm really finding it difficult to tell as to where Euro USD will also move next, all right. I'm really finding it difficult to tell as to where Euro USD will also move next. And so going into next week, we are likely to see this buy stop being taken out. Once this buy stop is being taken out, the next thing is to target what, internal range liquidity. So this buy stop becomes what, external range liquidity. Once the external range liquidity is being taken out, the next thing is what, internal range liquidity. And this fair value gap here is an internal range liquidity. So when you see price what, push to the zone, then we see where price will move next. And so I'll be looking for what sells to the zone, then we see how price is going to react. And so I'll be very much focused on Tuesday and Wednesday, all right, because that is where we have the high impact news. That is when we have the high impact news. And these days, these 2 days are likely, either one of these days are likely to give us either the low of the week or the high of the week, depending on the order flow of the market, all right. That is why I'm very much interested in what is going to happen on Tuesday and Wednesday. And so I'm going to look out for what is going to expect, or what is going to happen. And so I'll just cross my fingers and see what is going to happen, all right. Yeah, basically on a Monday, I'll just be taking some short-term trades on a 5-minute, 15-minute time frame, and then see what the market will do on Tuesday and then Wednesday, all right. So for Euro USD, this is what I'm looking at, all right. This is what I'm looking at as far as price action is concerned. So that is my expectation on Euro USD going into a new week. Let's look at what is happening on GBP USD. Let's look at what is happening on GBP USD. So for GBP USD, we are already seeing a bullish order flow, all right. We are already seeing a bullish order flow right from this area up to this area, all right. We've seen price what, respecting the lows and what, breaking the high. So last week I was expecting to see price take out this high, and definitely it did that, all right. It did that beautifully for us. And so going into a new week, this is what I want to see, all right. We've seen we are seeing a little bit of a fair value gap being created here right after price taking out this buy stop we are seeing here, all right. Yes, and so I want to see price move into this fair value gap before we see a continuation to the upside, all right. Yes, and below this fair value gap we have this other block here, all right. Below this fair value gap we are having this other block here. And so going into a new week, I want to see price retrace into this other block you are seeing here. If it respects it, then definitely you're going to see price push to the upside. But if it breaks in, then definitely you're going to see price move to the low, to the downside, taking this by self stops we are seeing here, all right. Yeah, so going into next week, either I see this, all right, either I see this happening, or I see price this happening, all right. Yeah, so that is going to be my expectation on GBP USD going into next week, all right. By the moment, is GBP USD is looking bullish for me, All right, it's looking bullish from now, unless you are proving otherwise on Monday, and most especially Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, so that is my expectation on Gbpusd going into a new week. Let's look at what is happening on Nasdaq. All right, yeah. So I'll be following the dollar index the more, because if the dollar index gives me clarity, all right, I'm going to is going to give me information on how these pairs are going to react. But at the moment that the dollar index is not giving me that much clarity that I want to see, I'll be targeting short-term objectives. All right, yes, my target is going to be very short-term on these pairs we are seeing, because I mean, at the end of the day, I need not to know the daily bias before I can take a trade on 5 minutes or on 15 minutes time frame. I don't need a daily bias. All right, yes, I just need to see how price is going to react during the New York Open. All right, yes, I just need to see how price is going to react during the New York Open. Once I know how they are going to react, definitely it will aid me to be taking short-term targets. All right, here, so I'll be looking forward to see how the dollar index is going to pan out. Once it gives me clarity, then definitely I'm going to see how price is going to react. So if you're not part of my Telegram community, just look through the description box below, click on the link and be part of the Flash Trading Telegram community, because Tuesday I'm going to update the community as to how we are going to see price reacting in the next couple of days. That is after Tuesday or Wednesday. All right, here. So if you're not part of my Flash Trading Telegram community, just look through the description box below. The link is there. Click on the link and be part of the Flash Trading Telegram community. Let's look at what is happening on Nasdaq. So for Nasdaq, last week I wanted to see this move happen. All right, yes, it happened. But before this happened, I wanted to see price move to this zone. All right, since we've had an impulse move, I wanted to see price take out this correction before we see this buy stops being taken out. But hey, my target was what was reached out before even this move should have even happened. All right, so at the end of the day, I'm just waiting for the correction to happen. All right, I'm just waiting for the correction to happen, and so I'll be looking for sales on the lower time frame. All right, I'll be looking for sales on the lower time frame, of which on the 1 hour I want to see price take out this low. All right, I want to see price take out this low. So once this low is being taken out, all right, I want to see price take out and it will close below this low. Once it does that, then I'll targeting sales into the zone. All right, I'll be targeting sales into the zone, and so that is what I'll be looking out for on Nasdaq going into next week. Right, that is what I'll be looking for on Nasdaq going into next week. So I would see how price will react on Monday. All right, then the subsequent days I see how I'm going to attack, or I'll see how I'm going to trade Nasdaq. Yeah, so that is my expectation on Nasdaq going into next week. Let's look at what is happening on the S&P 500. So for the S&P 500, Nasdaq, same plan. All right, yes, you've already seen price taking out this buy stops. All right, so the next draw on liquidity is this zone. All right, but before that, I want to see this correction happening, of which I will also be targeting some sales going into next week. Right, then I see what the market is going to offer us the subsequent days ahead. All right, yeah, so that is just that going into next week. I'm not really going to be that much aggressive. All right, I'm going to be very reactive to price. I'm going to look at how price is going to react, then I follow suit. All right, because I mean, at the end of the day, you don't know the outcome. All right, we are just speculators, just using previous data to predict what is going to happen next. All right, yes, you don't have any control of the market. If the market decides to move to the upside or the downside, I mean, you don't have any control over it. All you have to do is just follow what price is doing, and that is what basically I do. That is why I made you aware that I don't need to know the daily bias before I take a trade, or before I'll be able to take a winning trade. All right, yes, so that is just that going into a new week. Until I come your way again, stay safe. All right, stay very safe. And then we are going into a new week. Ensure that you practice proper risk management. I'm out.